How I got revenge on my ex at her wedding. Just don't be mad. You know when you hear these words, it's never good. And there she was, my wife, Alexa, sitting across from me, nervously stirring her coffee. I could see the hesitation in her eyes, the way she bit her lip before speaking. Something was coming, and deep down, I already knew it wouldn't be good. Then she finally said it. I'm really sorry. I met someone else. Boom. 5 years of marriage down the drain. I just sat there completely numb, feeling like someone had punched me in the stomach. My mind raced trying to process what she had just said. Was this real? Was she joking? Turns out, while I thought everything was fine, she was already planning a wedding with another guy. Wait, what? I finally managed to say, my voice hoarse. You met someone else? Since when? She lowered her eyes and took a deep breath. A few months ago, but it just happened. I wasn't planning it, we just connected. I felt my hands clenching into fists under the table. A few months? So she had been cheating for a while and only now decided to confess? But the worst part? You're a great person, she continued, her voice filled with fake sympathy. I really hope you can forgive me someday. Can we separate peacefully? Peacefully? Are you kidding me? She was acting like this was just some mutual breakup, like we had both agreed to move on. I took a deep breath, forcing myself to stay calm. I wouldn't give her the satisfaction of seeing me break. Instead, I nodded slowly. Sure, Alexa, we'll separate peacefully, but in my head, I already had a plan. A perfect revenge plan. When karma hits fast, 3 months passed. I processed everything, we finalized the divorce, and I tried to move on. But then, an invitation arrived. Yeah, she actually invited me to her wedding. At first, I just stared at the envelope in disbelief. Was this some kind of sick joke? Why the hell would she think I would want to attend her wedding to the guy she cheated on me with? I almost threw it in the trash. But then an idea struck me. If she wanted me there so badly, fine, I would come. But not as a friendly guest. I was going to make sure she never forgot this day. A wedding she'll never forget. The wedding was extravagant. Fancy venue, expensive decorations, guests dressed in their finest clothes. Everything screamed perfect fairy tale. It made me sick. I arrived, dressed sharply, blending in with the crowd. Nobody knew who I was except for Alexa, and when she finally saw me across the room, her smile immediately vanished. You came? She whispered when she finally approached me, her voice barely audible. Of course, I smirked. I wouldn't miss it for the world. She swallowed hard, looking around as if checking to make sure no one was paying attention to us. I didn't think you'd actually come, she admitted. I thought maybe we could be civil. I chuckled. Oh, don't worry, Alexa. I plan to be very civil. She didn't know it yet, but her entire world was about to crumble. As the ceremony went on, I played the role of the quiet, respectful guest. I listened to the vows. I clapped politely. I even smiled at the right moments. But then, when it was time for speeches, I made my move. I took the microphone and cleared my throat. Everyone, this is a truly special wedding, I began. But there's something I think we should all know before we continue celebrating. I pulled out a USB drive and plugged it into the projector. Her secret chats appeared on the screen. Messages from her, not just to her groom, but to several other men. Screenshots of her planning dates, sneaking around, telling one guy she loved him while being with another. The room went silent. The groom turned pale. Alexa froze, her eyes wide with horror. Wait, what is this? The groom looked at her, his voice shaking. Is this real? I simply smiled. Alexa, I thought you wanted honesty in your relationships. Well, here's some honesty for you. Gasps filled the room. Some guests looked away awkwardly. Others started whispering. Alexa's hands trembled as she reached for the microphone. This isn't what it looks like, she stammered. I can explain. but the damage was done. The groom stared at her for a long moment before shaking his head. "We're done," he muttered, ripping off his wedding ring and throwing it onto the floor. Then he walked out. More guests followed. The whispers turned into murmurs, the murmurs into full conversations. The wedding had officially turned into a disaster. I placed the microphone back on the stand, took a sip of champagne, and smiled. "Well, Alexa," I said softly, just loud enough for her to hear, "I guess this is a day you'll never forget." And with that, I turned and walked away, leaving her standing there in the middle of the chaos she had created. Best wedding ever.